Hi, I'm Ivan from WebWash, and in this video, I will show you how to use the Linkit module. Now, I've got the project page here on the screen, and the module gives you a nice interface for searching and linking to internal content on your site. Instead of you trying to figure out what's the URL to this particular page, is it node 123, is it this? Well, within the editor, you can select a bit of text, find your content using this autocomplete, and then simply link to it. And that's it. So you don't have to open up multiple tabs and try and figure out the URL to the page. So right now, I want to show you how to set up the Linkit module, because I use it on pretty much all of the sites that I set up, because it's a very useful module and editors do love it. So if you want to learn more about it, just head over to drupal.org/project/Linkit. And there is a tutorial, just a free plug, of course. There is a tutorial on WebWash. Just search for Linkit WebWash in Google, I guess. This tutorial takes you through the steps of setting up Linkit, as well as the editor advanced link, which we'll also use, and I'll explain that later on in the video. And it just explains how to use the module. And I didn't write this tutorial. One of my great writers wrote it, did a great job. So if you want to learn more about the module in a text format, then just head over to this tutorial and I will link it in the show notes below. So to get started, I've got my Drupal site here, and the only thing that I've done is I have downloaded the Devel generate module to just generate content. And what I'll do is I'll first start off by downloading Linkit using Composer. So here I'll jump into my terminal. Now, this may look a little different to what people are used to seeing. Normally I use a local terminal, but I'm doing everything through the browser because this Drupal site is hosted in the cloud on Gitpod, which is a great service, by the way. Highly recommend it. Let me just increase the zoom a little bit more. Okay, let's type in Composer require Drupal/Linkit. Now, if we search for this, okay, it is going to fail because something, okay, so it is downloading. All right, first problem you're going to have. And I did make sure this happened so I can explain it. If you take a look here, you will see there are multiple versions, okay? You have version 4, 5, 6, okay? Let's go with 6, okay? And it's not going to download it by default. If we have a look at Composer, what's it complaining about? Requires to satisfy. Anyway, okay, so there must be okay, so there's something in there's something in this module that's complaining about it, maintenance current version. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's specify, well, let me just clear this. Clear, go back up, and let's specify the actual version. All right, it's gone ahead and downloaded it. Everything looking good so far. Now, let's go to our site. So here is a site that I've set up. Search for Linkit, I can find it, and click on install. Now that's been installed. To configure it, I'm just looking at my notes quickly. To configure it, okay, so the first thing we need to do is go to configuration and add it to a text format. So if you go to configuration, text formats and editors, you will see all of these available configurations. Normally when you install Drupal using the standard installation profile, you will get the, I do think basic HTML, full HTML. Actually don't know if they are in the profile. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Anyway, let's configure it on basic HTML. Click on that. And if we scroll down, we should see, where is it? Linkit URL converter. Click on that. And then here, we need to check it. And then we need to select a profile. More about that in a second. Okay. So we've selected that. The most important thing, okay, make sure you click on Drupal link, select a default profile, enable it, but also make sure you enable the filter as well. That's very important. You may have issues with the ordering of the filters, but we'll leave it for now. It just depends how complex your filters are. Every site that I've worked on has different requirements with filters, and it just really depends. But let's just leave it like this, as it is. And if there's a problem, we'll fix it up as we go. Okay, so we fixed that up, saved it. All right, now let's go to a piece of content. You can see all the pages I've created and so on and so forth. Let me go ahead and create a latest article page. Latest article. If I can spell that, let me just chuck in some content. Okay. If we select a piece of content, click on the link button, we can now see this URL autocomplete field. So if we search for any piece of content, it'll search using the title on the content. So anything entered into the URL field will be used to do kind of like a contains search on content. So let me select this one. And one thing I do like about this is that it actually links to the node URL, like the actual canonical URL. That's the technical Drupal term, where it's node/24 in this case, not the URL alias. I hate it. Well, I don't hate it. That's a strong word. I dislike it when people link to pages internally using URL aliases, because then what happens is you may want to change those aliases in the future, which I've done many times. And then all of a sudden you have broken links. Whereas if you link to the canonical URL, then using, I believe, Path Auto does have like a global redirect where it'll automatically redirect to the correct link. So the recommendation is, if you're linking internally, always link using the canonical URL, because then Drupal will automatically switch it to the URL alias. And then in the future, if you want to change all of your aliases, well, you don't have to go in and change all your content because it's linking to this URL, which never changes. So there's a bit of a top tip. Okay, clicked on save. Click on save down at the bottom, and we have a nice URL. Click on it, and it takes us to this URL. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, now, one thing you'll notice is that, I'll show you this as well. I just noticed this. You'll see that it puts in these this A tag and then adds these extra items onto the A tag. So if you are debugging, if for some reason it's not working and you're thinking, why isn't it working? Okay, you might have an issue where if we go to filter HTML, okay, yeah, this. You want to make sure that this has been added to your A tag. Because if we were to remove this data entity, entity type, data entity UUID, then as soon as we click on source or we copy paste something into CK Editor will sanitize those attributes out, then it won't work. So if you've configured things and it's not working, come here and check that these attributes have been added. 9 times out of 10, the module will chuck them in there, but just want to make sure. Okay, let's close that. Let's go back here. And one thing you'll notice is that, and one thing I noticed when I was playing with this module, is that there's no option to specify a target value. So often on content sites, if you're linking off the site, you want to set the target to _blank so that it opens up a new browser. That's what I do on WebWash. When I link, well, I try to, I often forget, but that's a nice thing to do. To implement that option, the ability to specify if it's target equals blank, we do need to install another module. But if we go to Linkit, it does mention that. Where is it? Here we go. In version 5, if we take a look here, version 5 has removed support for link attribute, yada, yada, yada. If you are in need for link attributes, see Editor, Advanced Link Editor. I believe that's it. I just have to double check, make sure that is it. Advanced Link Editor. Yeah, that is it. Okay. So what we need to do is download this module as well. So let's go to our terminal. What is it? Composer, require, Drupal, Editor, Advanced Link. All right. Well, that was actually pretty quick. And did that download version 2? Okay. Oh, it's up to date. Okay, cool. Stable release. And what we need to do now is go to our site, close this, I'll open this up in a new tab, go to extend, search for editor, it's called Advanced Link. Yeah, okay. The actual label is Advanced Link, but the machine name is Editor Advanced Link. Click on install. then go to configuration, and we need to configure the attributes, exactly what I was mentioning just a second ago. And what we need to do, where is it? Where is it? I do have it here. Actually, I do have it in the tutorial. That's why you look at the tutorial. So configuring advanced link module, okay? Yep. Okay, so if we install it, okay, so we have installed the module, and if we click on here, okay, we get title. And the reason why we get title is because it is already configured. So if we take a look here, it is an allowed attribute. Now, the advanced link module doesn't have any configuration where you can say, okay, I want to now enable target option or ID option. The way it figures things out, which is pretty smart, but you have to read the project page and actually pay attention to these steps. Or if you're like me in the beginning, you're searching for screens, like where's the settings screen? What it does is that it'll check the available attributes on here and then allow those options in the pop-up. That is why we can see title right here. So if we want to allow target, all we need to do is add in target. We can also add in class as well. So we add all of those in, click on save. Do we need to clear the cache? Then we edit this. Under advanced, we now get these extra options. So we can add in, I don't know, BTN, primary, and let's add in open in new tab, click on save. And then if we inspect that, I can just easily click on it, of course, but I just want to inspect it. We can see, yep, target blank, title is that. Okay, so the title is, I guess, automatically generated by the title of the node, but you can easily override it. And most importantly, where's class? Oh, there it is, right there. So let's just zoom that in a little bit more. We have the class, and we also have the target equals blank. So if I click on it, it opens up in a new tab. Okay, there you go, pretty simple. If you want to add ID, for example, all you need to do is come back here, add in ID, I guess. Let's test this out. Click on save, edit this, edit the view, the article, double click on it. Okay, oh, sweet, there we go. Custom ID, put whatever you want in there. And if we inspect, we can see the ID somewhere. Oh, there it is. So that's how easy it is to add them in. Of course, there's only a standard set of attributes, title, class, ID, target, rel. There you go. The last one is rel. So the last thing we're going to look at is how to customize the profile. Because if we go back to our latest article, let me close that, edit this. And if we click on one of these and search for something else, oh, there it was. Okay. Let's now change the profile, which controls what's returned in the autocomplete. So we can change this and customize things and add in a few extra items using tokens. And we can also have other content returned as well. So if you want to link to taxonomy terms as well as content, you can have all of that content appear in the same autocomplete results. So let me show you. Let's go to, is it configuration? Linkit, there it is. And we have this thing called a profile. When you install the module, it comes with one called default, and then you have these matches here. And then if you go to matches, you can see what it's matching against. And because there's only content, it'll only return content. And then you can see that it groups it by bundle or includes unpublished. You do have a bunch of options where you can say, well, group it by bundle, which is content type. You can also match it by this and that. You also have other available tokens, which is pretty useful. Let's go ahead and create our own profile. And we'll call this one content plus terms. Terms. And let's click on add matcher. And we'll add in, or not comment, content, as well as, okay, have to add in one at a time. That's fine. Save and edit. Oh, what was that? Let's go here. Let me just copy the matcher because I want this token. I want this stuff. That's what I want. All right. On that. Looking good, looking good. Okay, that's fine. Leave everything as it is. Click on add matcher again. This time I want taxonomy terms returned as well. And what was that? No, we don't want that. Let's put in vocabulary. There we go. I want the vocab so I can see straight away. The title's going to appear, so let's do vocab. Let's just put in vocab so we know which vocabulary that term is part of. URL, node count. Okay, let's chuck in node count as well. That's actually pretty useful because you could figure out how popular a piece of content is based on how many people link to that or reference that term. All right, count. Okay, why not? Well, wait, what is that? Pipes? Yeah, let's keep it consistent. Consistency is the key. What is it? By, okay, yeah. All right, done that. Let's edit the content one and let's turn on group by bundle. And click on save. Then if we go to content, let's see if this actually works. Well, there's been no errors yet, so I'll take that as a win. And oh, okay. My fault. What we need to do, let me just close these tabs. Let's go to configuration, text formats, basic HTML, click on Drupal link, and let's change this to our new profile. Click on save, and then if we refresh on that, okay, you can see that it's grouped, which is great. Let me see if there's any, I don't even know what a category is. The devel generator, I do like them, but I do like the content, but it's not something I don't know what it generates. That's the problem. Click on that, search for that, and then you can see, yeah, okay, so we've searched for this particular term. It has told us that it's part of tags, which is great, and it's also given us a count as well, which is pretty useful. Then you link to that, and you link over to that as well. And then it links over to the canonical, again, the canonical URL of the term. Now, one thing I should also mention is that if it can't find a piece of content, it will then just chuck in whatever you've added in. So if I go to, say, google.com, it'll just add that in, and that's it. I should have mentioned that as well. So you don't have to link to only internal content. You can link to any URL. I think you can even just put in whatever you want, really. Chuck it in and that's it. So that's Linkit module, and it is a very powerful module, and I use it on pretty much all of my sites that I work on. Anyway, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn more about Drupal and WordPress, head over to webwash.net, and also don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And I'll also give a quick plug because I don't know if anyone's noticed, but all the courses now on WebWash are free. In the past, you had to register, but now you don't. You just come here, click on Watch Now, or you just click on one of these links here, and it will take you directly to the video, and you can start watching. And I've also got a new premium course, which is all about managing fields and content types, and also taxonomy terms and media assets and paragraphs. And so the course focuses on how to manage your content model in Drupal, which I believe is a pretty important piece to the whole Drupal puzzle, because if you don't get that part right, you're going to struggle. So check it out. It's a short course, less than 3 hours. Take also note that there's another page here. The LMS that I'm using, Learning Management System, paginates it, which is a bit annoying because I want everything to be on one page. But we cover everything from paragraphs, pretty much any way you would store content in Drupal. I show you how to use it. So it's compatible with Drupal 9, and then once Drupal 10 comes out and a new backend theme, I'll update it there as well. Anyway, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.